It's actually a perfect height. Chick-fil-A boxes and tissue boxes. I think it explains something a little bit about our lives. So, today is the anniversary. Today is the 1-year mark.
Of being told that I have cancer.
Yep. And Brittany came out today wanting today to be, well, whatever she wanted it to be. She didn't want it to be depressed and sad and crawl away into a hole and hide.
And that's exactly what I feel like. I feel dead. I feel emotionless, yet emotional. I feel numb and frustrated and very dark.
And I think it makes sense that you would. I mean, it's a 1-year mark for something like this. And she said that she didn't want to feel this way. She wanted to feel, she didn't want this to be.
I don't want this to happen every year. I don't want to know that this day is, I just want to be in darkness, away from everybody. I don't even want to be around Darren, which is saying something, because usually when...
That could be pretty annoying, though.
Usually when I'm upset or I'm having a bad day, I want to be with him. I want to be by him. And not today. Today I don't want to be by anybody. Today I want to not exist.
And she asked me to pray for her. She said that exactly what she said. She didn't want this to be this way. She doesn't want today to be this way. She doesn't want it. She wanted me to ask God to take it away. And I told her what I had read this morning. I'm reading through Acts right now, my little morning prayer devotional time. And I forgot who the main players are, and I don't even know what chapter it is or whatever, but 2 disciples went off, broke off from the main group, were called by the Holy Spirit to go elsewhere. And they did. And they arrived at this town, and the first week they preached the message of Christ, and the Jewish people were like, hey, can you come back next week, do the same thing? And they were like, sure. And they came back next week to preach the same thing. But because throughout the week there had been, the Jewish community had been swelling up discontent and that kind of stuff, they essentially were, booed out of the place. And the message was not for, or the passage mentioned that, like, first the message had to come to the Jews, it had to be rejected, but this message is for the Gentiles. The Gentiles are, receive this as well. And there was a great rejoicing, and all the Gentiles were, there was this huge number of people that came to Christ. And of course, the Jewish community's not happy about this, so they chase the guys out of town. And this is what, all of this to say, this is the point that kind of got to me today. It was actually my focus of my prayers this morning. It was, their response to that was to kick the dust off of their heels, which I know it has some sort of semblance of symbolism there, but the big thing that they did was they went joyfully to their next location. Joyfully.
Instead of being upset about everything that just happened to them, they chose to look forward to the next thing, what's to come.
They went joyfully. And I told Brittany this, and she got real quiet, and then turned on the camera and said, say everything you just said. And here I am. But I think it's important God can take away our emotions. He can take away how bad we feel. He can take away pain. But I've heard this said before. We choose joy. I'm sure God can give us joy if He wanted to. But a lot of times we have to choose it.
You have to choose how we respond.
Being joyful is just
A choice.
yeah. It's just a choice. And some days we're going to be joyful. And some days we're going to feel like we want to disappear. And that's what it means to be human. We don't have consistent joy. We don't have consistent, perfect happiness. If we did, we wouldn't be human.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that, in the words of Forrest Gump. You gonna film me doing this? You've already started.
I think we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, I get really anxious and really overworked sometimes about the things that we have to do, and I think that we're a little bit crazy trying to restart a business in the midst of cancer. But today is the 1-year anniversary of being diagnosed, and today, on a feedback call with one of our beta testers, we were able to give guidance and encouragement to someone who just had a friend be diagnosed with cancer and starting treatment this week. And it's moments like this that make me think all of it was worth it. Even if it was just to help that one person, encourage that one person, be able to give advice to that one person. It's worth it, and God's working, and the pain and the suffering that I have gone through and that I do go through has a purpose. It has meaning, and I honestly couldn't ask for anything better on the anniversary of being diagnosed, to know that I'm able to, in some way, help somebody else who is in the position I was a year ago, of hearing those words, it's cancer. You never forget hearing those words. You never forget the look of your doctors saying that to you, and your life is no longer the same. And it will never be the same again, because whether you beat it in 6 months or whether you live with it the rest of your life, from that moment on, you are a cancer patient. And that's something that will never change. You'll never not be a cancer patient, even if you go into remission.
You're still a cancer patient. You still get checkups. You still wait for it to
rear its ugly head.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected today, but I'm glad that God was able to use me for just that one person. makes it okay. It makes me want to help more people. It makes me remember why I started vlogging to begin with. Yeah.